Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. Good golly, Miss Molly. The Rock and Roll Rowdies reunion is upon us. The tour, it's like any old band. They need to hit the global ATM so they get back together again after 60 years. Here they are. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hi.
Yeah.
Let's be back alive again. We're live. Hey.
Hey, and it worked. It's working. I can see it.
We're
And we've
alive,
even got someone in the chat. It's our great friend Courtney.
Hey, Courtney.
Woohoo. Good to see you, Courtney.
Are we getting a good stream? Because we've all been having trouble with our streams lately, I think.
We need to know,
Talk for
Courtney.
yourself. Talk for yourself, mate.
Well, so go ahead, Wilco. Yeah.
Well, yeah, nice to see everybody. It's been a while. Lot to talk about, lot to organize. First off is Wilco and Granny on the 6th of December are doing the Average White Band documentary movie. And I've got to thank the band for that because they made sure that we got involved.
Don't jinx it.
No. We're going to find out next week exactly what the lowdown is, you know.
Lowdown, that was Boss Cags, not Average White Band.
Yeah.
So, Average White Band documentary coming.
Montrose Films. Very Scottish.
Not Dunfermline. Montrose Films. Here's a deadline thing.
Right, yeah.
Average White Band feature doc in the works. Warner Music Entertainment distributing in North America.
Oh.
And I don't think they quite look like this now.
No.
But yeah, so what's you guys are going to be interviewed? You're going to be taking part?
Yeah, we're getting interviewed. They did a basic, 2 months ago? But now this is the real thing. We got a call from Flora Stewart, not Haley Stewart's sister. Could be his mom, I don't know.
He's cutting out.
You're roboting a bit, I'm afraid, Wilco.
Yeah, but it's a very Scottish operation. Flora Stewart is the producer. Flora Stewart, yeah.
She got a sibling called Fauna.
Yeah, Flora and Fauna. That's right.
Oh, yeah, so Flora Stewart is Hamish's daughter, did you say?
It could be. Who knows? We got around, don't forget. We got around.
Well, I'm sure
I tell you, he's a fantastic singer.
Who, Hamish?
No, his daughter.
Oh, Flora, yeah.
Not Flora, no. He's actually daughter. Keep Flora out of there.
You're cutting out so much, I can't hear what you're saying.
That's what I said at the beginning. I'm having trouble. But we've been spoken to the producer. She's picked our brains a little bit. I've been sending photographs from my archives and this, that, and the other. And so we set the date. We're just waiting for an actual rock and roll location in LA. So on the 6th, we're doing that.
So LA on the 6th of December.
That's right.
Is it going to be in a particular? You might not want to tell where it's going to. Is this be in an office or will it be in the?
We don't know yet.
Somewhere in like a bar.
We've put the Cat and Fiddle up for first option, which is a English bar. Paula. All the guys are friends of ours. We've been going to the Cat and Fiddle for 40 years now.
Yeah,
it's a new location, but we're keeping it in the family. Paula Gardner. Her husband was Kim Gardner. God bless. And if the director says no to the pub, then I just got off the phone with Klaus, who runs Sunset Marquee. So we may do something at the Sunset Marquee because also the Sunset Marquee's got a recording studio in the basement.
I think I've still got a Sunset Marquee T-shirt somewhere.
I think I've still got a room key.
Does it still work though?
That was the hotel. It was right off the strip, just around the corner from Ben Frank's coffee shop. It was fantastic.
Brilliant place. Yeah, nice pool area, and the phones sound like the Flintstones phones.
I just saw
classic, USA sort of telephone sound. That's what I noticed this was back in the 70s.
Yeah,
actually had a phone in the room and stuff.
If it was like the Flintstones, or did the phone handset go like this when it rang?
Did a bit, yeah. Ring.
So that's the 6th of December, and it is because this year was the 50th year since Pick Up the Pieces.
We're 50.
I think it's next. I think it's February, March.
Ah.
Actually, 50. It's going to be 50.
Yeah, you're cutting out, Wilkie. Yeah, I think
No,
it was
I've-
recorded in '74, and then it was redone. Jerry Wexler and Arif Mardin kind of revamped the White Album, and it was released in early '75, I think.
It's interesting that this is finally happening because many other bands from that era have had multiple documentaries or films. This is finally they're getting their due.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it's supposedly released next year. I mean, that the Warner Music is a big company, so that'd be
Well,
great.
there's a lot of anniversaries going on. You know, the 50 years for a lot of people, different albums and stuff like that. And talking of which, I've got a book here that I just received.
Oh, look at that!
Which is a nice coffee top.
Let's see that. Let's make it bigger. I'll embiggen you.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I got this the other day, and I did show Granny in that, but I'll show our audience. First thing I opened up. It's a bit tricky trying to get this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's fucking fiddly.
No.
Okay, and who did I see? The first person sat on the front row.
In the denim shirt, notice.
Yeah.
Mr. Granny Grange.
Wow.
And that is some airport there that I can see Chris Runsman over on with the UK Union Jack hat on.
Yeah. I've got a feeling that's at Southend because that's where British air ferries were based. I have a feeling because in my diary it says we had to wait about 2 hours for a bus. We looked like it.
Yeah.
But in the photo credit in the bookmark, it says that's Mal, but it's actually me.
All right, so you didn't get your due credit.
We look alike. Me and Mal were like duplicates.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, you did share.
I think this is the same shirt. I still fit in it.
And it's never been washed since.
Never. You don't wash denim.
It's probably worth a lot of money, that shirt. Then you could sell that at an auction.
I've always liked denim. No, as much as the blue in my eyes, Derek.
Oh, Dustin's joining us.
Hey, Dustin.
Cheers, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Good.
We're good.
Yeah, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Yes, we're getting the band back together.
Right. Going on the road, man.
But we're leaving Mal's the drummer, and we're leaving him out.
Oh, that's a good picture, Mark. Get that out.
I think this is what we were talking about.
See this close? Yeah, I want to zoom in on this. There we go.
Oh, that's a great picture.
Yeah. Oh,
is that all the musos?
We're all in there somewhere. Mal's in there as well.
I've never seen that one.
That's a big crew.
Yeah,
I know what BAF
Star Trek tour.
Yeah, sorry, Dustin.
Star Trek tour.
I know what the BAF stands for.
British Air Ferries, I think it was.
Big ass,
badass, but you know,
badass. Yeah,
badass ferries. Nice. It was a right shit fucking plane.
So is that book not out yet though? That's
this book.
Yeah,
it's a it's a limited edition thing. I just got my complimentary because I contributed quite a bit to it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. You know, they're talking about the plane. You know, and there was so much gear and so much people that they booked this bloody plane and it just wasn't big enough. You know, so it's like it sort of run down the runway. You know, this is meant to be sort of like the big tour, sort of, you know, rock and roll tour. It was sort of run down the road and barely got off the ground.
Made it off the ground. Yeah.
You only had to fly to Amsterdam, I think was the first flight.
You loaded it through the nose. The nose opened up like a big cod's mouth.
Oh, one of those.
And you had like a conveyor belt. I've got a picture at like 2 a.m. at Stuttgart or somewhere, loading the front. And I don't know about balancing the friggin' thing. You think about it. You're putting all the gear up in the front. You have to hope. Well, obviously, it was flight worthy. We made it.
Was it the plane in Antelope? Because the Antelopes are the ones that open up. The big Russian.
No, this was I don't know what model this is, but it's British Air Ferries. This big nose, like a jumbo jet, but you're loaded in the front. I don't know what make it was.
Look on the bright side. Once you unloaded all your bombs over Europe, it was a lot lighter coming back.
That's right. Yeah.
So this is the picture. Courtney's screaming for this picture. She wants it. She wants this picture.
Well, that was the tour. That was the tour.
That was the tour. Yeah. I mean, is that a camel toe or what? What do they call that?
Yeah. What would you call that? Yeah, like a cod piece.
Cod piece. The
if you go to,
Godfathers.
if you go to
be a
the Tower of
hosepipe.
London or somewhere, there's like a Henry VIII with his suit of armor, and all the women, like you can see, they've worn the metal away by rubbing the codpiece for fertility.
Right,
Miles just doing
Let's
his
get
duty.
real. That's all the socks you brought for tour.
That's
That's
right. There was a cucumber wrapped in tinfoil.
That's right, yeah. Now,
So,
if,
yeah,
if
so
we're
this
on about books, can I just pop in this thing? I contributed to this book. If you
Oh.
can see that, Brian.
hang on.
New
No,
money.
I'm sorry, we run out of time. It's time to
Yeah.
go, everybody. No.
Yeah. It should have been me. Zoot Money, the life and times of a rock star who should have kept his pants on. Could have been written about me.
Could
But
have been.
I got a call through an internet post I did and what I contribute to the book. So very interesting. It starts in the late 50s, early 60s, and just like what we all did, up and down the country in a van. And Zoot was a great bloke. I don't know if you know this, Wilco, but he passed away a couple of months ago.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he died in September. I was trying to catch him on some of my visits to see him at the Bull's Head in Barnes. He was just, up until about a year ago, he was still active, but apparently...
Andy Summers was in his band, wasn't he?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, Andy Summers.
Yeah. So it's great fun book to read. I mean, he went through all the madness and ups and downs, and he never quite made it big, but he was a household name. Among musicians, he was just like everywhere all the time. Great bloke.
But you've got so much memorabilia, Granny, and you, Mark. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
The stuff you've got that could contribute to these things must be, enormous. You've got photographs. Have you got T-shirts as well? You get
I have a box full of T-shirts from this. I don't know what exactly there is.
Some of those are worth a lot of money now.
Yeah, but mine are all.
We've
Mine
been
are
around
all
a
like.
long time, We've been around. I mean, Martin wrote in this book to me, and it says to Mark, formerly known as Hobbit, from 1960 something to not finished yet.
Yeah.
Thanks, Martin.
That's good.
Not finished yet. Yeah, but the tour T-shirts from original tour T-shirts are worth a lot of money now.
Yeah.
And resale.
Well, the Showco T-shirts, the ones with the signs back Texas with all the stars on it. 5 years ago, they were all worth $1,000 each.
Yeah, they're worth. People pay a lot of money for those ticket stubs from certain gigs. Mark, that book looks really good. I guess it's the Wishbone Ash official website or somewhere you might be able to get that if people wanted it.
Yes, I think so. It's a £150 job.
Yeah,
but it's good, and there's quotes from everybody in here, including me.
Yeah.
Star Trek and Tour. Jesus. Equal measures, brilliant and shambolic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stories from that, which we've told before on other podcasts.
Well, speaking of memorabilia, when Mal and I did a 75 tour in the States with Mark, and one of the opening acts in some of the cities was Aerosmith. And they went, and then the next city, they'd be top of the bill. But I've still got one of the posters with Aerosmith supporting Wishbone.
Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, that's how close Wishbone were.
Yeah, they were poised.
Really, yeah. I mean, it wasn't just Aerosmith. It was like Joe Walsh was another one.
Yeah, we've shown a lot of those posters on previous shows, and Aerosmith were right up there with Wishbone right up there with these bands like Aerosmith at that period.
Well, it's just I mean, Wishbone, although they are a legendary band, they never really had the success of likes of Aerosmith, and unfortunately,
I blame the road crew.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think it was the sound of shit.
Yeah, hail to Davina. Davina is here.
Hey, Davina.
Courtney wants one of your shirts, Granny, unwashed and sweaty.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because most of my T-shirts, you can't sell them because of all the stains. So,
that's authentic. People want authenticity. That's real.
There was plenty of authenticity. Absolutely.
I got something the other day, Granny, that reminded me of you, and I'd run out of time to send you this picture. This was in a thrift store that I got this.
Live in Africa. That's yeah.
That's your gig.
I think I have a T-shirt from there, but I can't. It's so somewhere it's in a box. I can hardly get it on now. I've definitely.
So I'm going to watch it and see if I can spot you in the background.
Well, you might see me. I was only wearing a loincloth and a hard hat.
So no difference from normal then.
No, just like normal. Yeah, it was so hot. I just stripped right down.
Yeah. So
I was going to ask you, Granny, were you actually at ringside?
Yeah, I was on the side. Yeah, our job was to coordinate the different band lineups. So one band would play, and then we'd move the equipment, the Hammond organ, Leslie stuff, to where they were needed. Just the back line, basically. And then there would be a dance trip dancing while we were setting up, and then we'd just be at the side of the stage.
Yeah,
Oh,
you didn't make the
match.
fight though. You didn't make the fight.
No, the fight was postponed because of the injury at the sparring partner. Somebody got injured, but there's still quite an event. Yeah.
Yeah, just get Wilco back in. There we go. But yeah, I saw that in a thrift store. I thought I'll grab that. And I haven't watched through it yet, but I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be in there somewhere.
Possibly.
If you see a man looks like Tarzan with a loincloth, that'll be you.
I mean, I've looked at the James Brown. There's 2 films about James Brown there, and really good footage. And I must have stepped behind some people because I remember we had our own little. We set up a pub by the side of the stage. We put a table. We drew our own beer mats on this table. So mine was a Newcastle Brown Blue Star, and Spot had whatever. So we had our own little corner. That was our spot. And then, but there were so many hangers-on clinging around. Yeah, there was a load of hangers-on. So got lost among them.
Nice though. It was just neat to spot that.
That was 50 years ago this year, September.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we're getting fights like Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Yeah, just
that was crazy. So that fight, just a little anecdote about that fight. So there was somebody ringside streaming that fight, and that stream, just somebody in the crowd streaming, had 6.6 million views.
Wow. I watched it after the fight because you couldn't watch it. The streaming was bad, but I watched that guy. Yeah, he just filmed it on his phone.
I wish I'd been there to do that. They could have retired with the cash he made.
Probably didn't get any revenue from it, but
I might have claimed it, I guess. But yeah, I mean that was. If you think of the state of heavyweight boxing now, I know that was a show. It was just a put on. But I mean, back in the your era, I was watching on TV too. Guys like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and whatever, those were fights.
Yeah.
Those were events.
Yeah.
So now we get just fake social media influencers.
Yeah, a lot of hype.
But anyway, so Average White Band documentary, we'll need to keep an eye out for that because that should be really good. It looks like Warner put a lot into it. It's going to be
hope so.
A fitting one. It's not a cheap knockoff documentary like a lot of bands get. It's the real deal.
Yeah.
By the looks of it, I would say. So is Hamish Stewart on this tour?
Not on the tour.
No.
But he's contributed to the documentary. They've all contributed.
Right. He's not playing on any of the gigs, not even the last.
No, I don't think so.
No. That's a shame.
I think the florist said they're going to try and film this last show in the middle of December in St. Louis. I'll be in Washington, D.C. Otherwise, I might have tried to go.
Right. Yeah. It's a shame that he isn't part of. Well, but he's still part of the documentary.
Right.
It'll be nice to see all those glamorous shots of Dunfermline and
Alloa,
winter
Cowden Beats.
1971.
Gala Shields.
Gala Shields.
Well, Gala Shields was actually beautiful. It was in the border country, but Alloa and Dunfermline, the collieries, aren't they?
That's only country, isn't it?
Gala Shields is beautiful. It's got a great abbey and all that stuff. Yeah, nice town. But yeah, it's not exactly when people think of the great rock and roll tours. Gala Shields.
Because Wilco and I left our mark on that drinking. Remember that drinking fountain on the way, Wilco?
Huh?
We stopped on the way. We peed into the drinking fountain.
Nobody else is drinking out of that.
Poison the whole fucking.
Just down the road from Gala Shields.
Well, Arnie McIntyre remembers the morning he woke me up after the fact. Oh, Wilco, do you mind driving Mum and Dad home? Oh, no problem. And they got in, were really cool parents, and was carrying on with them. And all of a sudden, there was about 10 cars in front of me, and I wanted to go left. So what do? Right round. Arnie's mum was screaming, "What are you doing? I'm going to turn left here. I'm not going to wait for all these bastards to move." But I used to take them home every time they came up to Glasgow,
Take your life in your hands with Wilco driving. His attention span's too short.
Back in them days, I'm a top driver there you go.
It's not the only thing that's too short we've heard, but
Yeah,
that's
that's right, Brad.
That's a different story.
I didn't want to bring that up, if you pardon the pun.
That's what she said.
Oh, you're not talking about his temper? Okay.
Yeah, well, as I was saying earlier before we started, I've handled 8 inches and 6 inches already this week.
There you go.
It snows a lot here in the prairies.
Yeah.
So,
It's cold.
Yeah, just cold.
yeah, hey,
No.
Mark had snow. Mark's had snow, and he's in the
In Devon,
the Riviera of
the Riviera, yeah, we had about that much snow. In
Yeah,
the
well,
whole,
we're getting some on the mountains near here. We get snow.
it's
well, you
not
get
that
skiing
far
and
anyway. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the county just fell to bits. You know, the road team were just not prepared. You know, it's like, you know, they were caught sleeping.
Now, if that was the railways, they'd be all over them with wrong kind of snow.
Yeah, I think the railways are disrupted as well. Yeah, it's just chaos now. We only have, you know, but hey, it's a big thing here, and at this
there's
time of
no-
year, it's unusual.
But
There's not any railway strikes on in the UK, is there? Because I'm going to need to use the trains while I'm there.
Not at the moment. I haven't heard anything, but you know,
All right,
you
good.
never know.
Yeah, good. 'Cause
Labour came into power and paid everybody off. You know,
That's
they paid
right.
Yeah, so there's no strikes. That's good because I need to use the trains.
Right.
I just started working for the railroad.
You did.
Yeah.
Not British Rail, I don't think. Yeah.
Riding
No,
as a
I'm-
hobo in carriages not paying isn't working for them. Riding the rails, as they say.
Southbound train.
So I don't know how much you guys can say or want to say about it, but I know that in the last time since we live streamed, it's not like we haven't been talking to each other, but for those out there, I know that there's been some Rowdies filming attempts, and well, you actually did film something, didn't you? But there's what are you guys up to as a collective or as individuals that you can talk about?
Can't say anything, I'm afraid. It's all hush hush.
what's been interesting is there's a lot of our fan base been getting back in touch with us because the last year we've really been focusing on the TV thing. And these fan bases are like, hey, what are you guys doing? We want more of this stuff. So starting today, going on to next month and onwards, we're going to start putting this back together. As the Rock and Roll Rowdies, the 4 of us, and intertwining with a TV show, hopefully. I mean, we're hoping that should be signed, sealed, and delivered within 2 or 3 months, you know.
Yeah, because you filmed a pilot and some material, and then since then there's been developments with other parties that may be interested in picking that up. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, we did the pilot in May, which was, for me, the best thing in the world because we've been pushing the buttons for this for the last 8-10 years. And now we've got something to show people. So it's not just us doing the talking, it's the talking, but people in movie industries can look at this and go, okay, now we get it, you know. And that's where it's at. I mean, our partner, Wayne Carmona, which I can't mention his name, he's with
You just did.
That's right.
I can mention his name. That's what I
Did you
said.
say Wayne Kerr? Or Wayne
Wayne.
Carmona. Wayne Carmona.
Winking Manor, you know.
Winkin Manor.
So yeah, I mean,
I thought it was Wink Martindale.
Wink Martindale, yeah. Country Star.
so anyway, AA, one of the biggest agencies out there, is Wayne's agent, and they're like what they're seeing. So he's talking to them. We're all talking, and hopefully, obviously, with the holidays, nothing's going to happen. So 2025, hopefully, we'll have this under control, that we can start going into production. You know.
I think there's an unwritten sort of law in the Hollywood business, like you have to suffer for 10 years before any project will be taken by anybody.
Yeah.
So we're working on that.
And would you? I mean, is the basic premise still what we've talked about before, which is you guys talking about various stories from the past, but also to have guests come in and talk as well?
Well, we look like we're going to go for a scripted version.
Right.
It's going to be both. It's going to be both, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be all the above. I mean, but we're going to. It's the 3 of us and Mark Emery and a couple of other guys, which I'm not going to mention because that may change. But you know, we going on the same series as like Entourage. You know, we think of the entourage of rock and roll, which is perfect. You know, and it's going to be all of us involved in the music industry from the 60s, 70s onwards of what we did as roadies. You know, a lot of people don't get what we did, what our background was, what we made to make this show happen, you know. And you know, there's also the speakeasy where we all went. That's where we got jobs back in the day. You know, it was only for musicians and roadies. Then you got the production. We didn't know what sound system was going to turn up, what lighting system was going to turn up, and if it did, was it going to work? You know, I mean, people go to Taylor Swift and go, "Wow, look at this." There wasn't any of that going on in the 70s. It wasn't even thought of.
Well, we're just going on about the Star Trekking tour. You know, I mean, we were going all those different countries, and there was different voltage everywhere. It was just a nightmare. It was just trying to get all the technical side of it together. It was, you know, but these days it's, you know, it's not, you know, that tour, that was like groundbreaking because I mean, these days, you know, a lot of people are doing package tours around the world, and it's seamless, you know. But then it was just, you know, we're breaking new ground. You know,
one of the major
logistical. Sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. One of the major logistical things on Star Trek was getting miles packaged from city to city.
Oh, they did a truck for that on its own.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, his own.
Got his own truck.
It was a D's nuts.
Yeah. He got his own 3-ton truck.
Was it a diesel or a D's nuts? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're going back to the 70s. You know, all those times people don't realize what we had to go through to get stuff done. You know, just to get through the countries and everything. And
exactly, Zoot Money Book is a perfect example. He did exactly the same sort of thing. It was just you just kept your nose to the grindstone and kept going.
Yeah, I mean,
well, that's right. I mean, you're actually working like 35 hours a day. You know, driving overnight, sleepless, gigging all night, and breakdowns.
I loved
everything. You know, we had to go through everything. You know, and sort of like no communication. We didn't have any mobile phones or anything like that back then. You know, and
it was great. They couldn't track you down. The other side is you could take off and we'll see you in Venice.
Just at a Flintstones one.
You kind of get paced up to it. You know, you're running at that pace all the time. You're getting a flight here. You're driving from here to here. They're going to the States the next day. You
loved it.
You know, and you think it's impossible, but you do get right up to speed. And then when you come off the road, it's like what?
You guys were basically inventing the road or making the road as you went. So I mean, there's a lot that you guys have
building the road as you drive down it.
You know? Well, back to the Average White Band. I did the first European tour with them in 1973, and we did 3 gigs in 3 different countries in one day.
Yeah,
that one out. It was absolutely
no problem. No problem.
But what it was, as well as about learning the business, it was in Europe doing the first open air concerts. So the producers and the promoters and whoever was in charge, like the last gig I got to was in anyway, Belgium, I think, I can't remember. But here I am at 9 o'clock at night coming into this gig, and everybody just said, "Oh, just park your cars wherever. They've got plenty of room." Well, that idea went right out the window because Wilco comes in at 9 o'clock at night. We're on stage at 9:30. I must have driven over 10 cars just to get to the stage because there was, I just park it. It's all right, just put it over there, no problem. We got plenty of space. It was a learning process for all of them and all for us. How'd you put a show on? Get a field, get the cows out, and just put a stage in.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping to get across. Like, if this pilot gets picked up, is like all the logistics and try to make that interesting. And our personalities, as being the 3 of us the way we are, might be a little bit different to a lot of the podcasts you hear of the techie guys. They're all dry as dust. I mean, very interesting. But you get me, Wilco, and Mal talking, the way we talk, and Mark himself. So we're hoping maybe there's a bit of that they can work around the personalities, and that's where Wilco's saying maybe there'll be something scripted based on us. But still, I think the Rock and Roll Rowdies podcast type of thing is great because we could talk about this stuff forever. I think.
Indeed.
Yeah, definitely an eye opener. I mean, I remember doing a show with you, and I unplugged something. It was funny as shit, and everybody went, who did that? And you went, Wilco! When it came to electricity, I was sick as
And
shit.
everything go quiet.
Reminds me of Lloyd Bridges in Airplane when he pulls the plug out,
Right.
all the lights go out.
That's same
It
sort of
happened.
thing.
Yeah.
I was doing a gig. I think it was it might have actually been in Deal,
Oh.
and there was the mixer was plugged into the wall there, and there was some audience by the side, and then some kid, it was a son of a friend of ours, kicked the bloody plug out, and the mixer went off right in the middle of the show. You know, this is only recently, so it's still happening. All these
Oh, of
chaotic
course,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, and if it's computerized, it's a little bit harder now to get back up because it has to reboot.
Takes a
Not
lot of
just-
reboot.
Yeah, and then where are you in the sequence of things that program is set to do at various times?
Yeah, thank God they got backup these days. You can just reboot it. But yeah, it's,
But
you know,
you know, like Bruce really taught me a lot, and I did not set up the sound systems and all that shit, you know. And he teaches all that, and all of a sudden he looks at me and he goes, "Have you learned anything yet?" I'm going, "Plug number one into one and all that." And he goes, "Why don't you make a movie? Get the gaffer's tape,
Yeah, tape this shit up.
and then you just leave the end and just plug them in. You get the little stickers. One goes to one, two goes to two. You know, and I'm like, Bruce, yeah, that works. You know, learning as you go along. You know.
What happens if you've got a cable left over? Or Cisco?
You just keep quiet. They might not notice.
Yeah, no, good stuff. I just wanted to pause to say hello to everybody in the chat. D-Bud Martin has joined us. Low Spec Linux is here. Davina, we
Oh,
mentioned.
there we go. I didn't have my chat open.
Southern Keto. A bunch of people in the chat there. Good to see you all. Thank you for joining us today on this one-off. For now, with this for today one-off, there will be more, but show first in a while. We did have to bring it forward because I'm going to be out the country. Well, I'm going to be in your country, Mark, but I'm going to be out of the country.
well,
I don't know. It gets
Scotland is
confusing.
Not
Gets
quite the same.
I'll be in Scotland before you.
Aye.
So,
Make sure you take the high road, though,
I
Brian.
will take the high road. Speaking of Scotland, I wanted to get you guys' opinion on something, if you don't mind me showing you something.
Ah.
Go on.
This is what you can do with the pipes. So let me hang on. This will be copyrighted music, but who cares? We're not monetized yet. So sure. So what do you think of this bagpipe solo coming up?
Well, looks good so far.
Yeah. So this is a nice outfit, and nice pipes. She nails this solo. Pretty good, eh? She's pretty good.
It's great. But there is a band that has bagpipes in its show.
Oh, lots of bands do that, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook. Very cool.
She nails this.
Yeah, it's great.
Very, very good indeed.
She has very good finger work on that.
She's
very nice.
dexterous, very dexterous. She has great lung capacity.
Lung capacity, finger.
All it needs a wah on it, and it'll be perfect.
Yeah,
That's right. We did talk about this in various streams. Did any of you ever have to have bagpipes in any gig you did? Who was the bagpipe roadie?
No, but we did have in certain. I can't remember the states we were in, but a couple of places we gigged.
Yeah.
A bunch of guys would turn up with bagpipes and play, walk us on stage, which was fantastic. And I don't think we ever got video of it or anything like that.
yeah. But I've got pictures of we arrived in Australia and they sent the bagpipers out and we were out at the curb. I think I've got that picture. Bagpipe was welcoming us at.
That's like a
Sydney.
state reception. These guys were like world leaders.
That was
You got the pipes. Well, I mean,
What band was that, Granny?
Was that?
What band was that? Where you got the bagpipes in
Well,
Australia?
the Average White Band.
Average White.
Yeah, I mean, because it was Scottish, there was a lot of
Yeah,
that scarves and bagpipes.
Brilliant.
Here we go, some bagpipes. That's pretty original, but it was a good gesture.
Well, as D.
Right.
Bud Martin was saying, Bon Scott of AC/DC played the pipes, and they
That's
had a pipe.
the video I saw.
Yeah, it's
That was
only
it.
it's a long way to the top, or was it no? Is it a long way? Yeah, a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. But they've got a pipe band in that video too. The whole
It's
pipe.
great. Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. That was the one.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. But she's good. Yeah. But what was the most exotic instrument you ever had to take care of?
Oh, well, I had the oboe. Don't forget with
You had the
Gnudrolog.
You had the oboe. That's true.
Horn.
You had to blow your horn.
Yeah, the horn.
Well, but yeah, I mean, obviously, those are the easy.
I guess the talk bag is a weird one.
Oh yeah.
That from like Joe Walsh
Top
fame
Mountain.
called Rocky
Mhm.
Mountain Way. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
That sort of thing is kind of weird. Through a
Yeah, you had to kind of get your mind around the what it was actually doing, and you had to kind of double think. Singing into the mic, but the mic's going into the horn and coming back into his mouth. It's like a porno movie.
Teeth rattling.
So it's been revealed. The truth has been revealed. Courtney can blow
Blowing wood.
wood.
Oh, good
The
girl.
clarinet. She's a good
Never-
punker.
Good for you, Courtney.
I'll have to dig out that clip of Courtney singing. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Yeah. You guys
Send us a video, Courtney.
you guys keep talking while I find it.
Herb Alpert. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look for this video of Courtney. I do have it somewhere. I got so much stuff now. It's ridiculous. I don't know how to find things.
Courtney's punk band. Are you still gigging, Courtney? She had a punk band.
Oh yeah, she's been in bands, and she wasn't gigging, but she was invited up on the stage. I will find it, Courtney. I will find you.
And I pay you.
I will find you. I feel like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Scary.
Courtney, keep talking, guys. Don't wait for me.
I'm trying to think of exotic instruments. I mean,
well, better to have the oboe than the Hammond organ, I would suggest.
Well, yeah, I went from the oboe to a Hammond organ with Van der Graaf, don't forget. So I covered the whole spectrum.
Granny, did you get the thing I sent you on Van der Graaf?
No.
This whole week it's been on Facebook. It's all Van der Graaf.
Really? Oh, I should look up at that man.
Check your own Facebook page.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how you could. I'm not going to say it, but it was kind of interesting. I sent you a couple of things that must have gone through.
Well, what's funny about Van der Graaf was, I mean, you're talking about learning you plug in the cable, number one goes to number one. That was literally what I did with Van der Graaf. I had no idea what I was setting up. I had no clue. And it wasn't until about in the late 90s, somebody bought me a DVD of Van der Graaf playing live. And I'm going, oh, that's what it was. I could see these cabinets and echo units. And I'm going, back then, I literally just plugged the green one went in the green, the blue went in the blue, and somehow or other it worked.
I thought I was just plugging the washing machine in.
We had a washing machine on the road with Supertramp. Supertramp used to take a washing machine, and instead of the promoter charging them for towels everywhere, they'd do their own towels.
That's right. The glamorous life. Well, Rush had a whole stage set
Oboes.
of washing machines.
That's right, yeah.
I gotta find this clip, Courtney. I don't know what I've done with it. It's such a shame because it's so good.
Yeah.
But I want to just say back to T-shirts, and Granny knows this. I had all of these flight cases in my barn in Connecticut, and I took about 12 cases off Meatloaf, all taken away from the concessions. Average White Band, every band I was with. And when I was on tour and I wasn't living there anymore, the whole barn fell down. And then the state of Connecticut came around about 2 weeks later and went to the ex-wife, if you don't get this off the road, you're going to burn it. And that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
They said, remember that time you took all the stuff from the office, Granny? You put it in the barn?
Vaguely.
Yeah, it was all the stuff from the office. The average wife. All went up in smoke. You know.
Shame.
Courtney. I'll find it someday. Don't worry. I played it.
There's a link of that if you want to click into Vina's link.
Oh, right. Yeah, that'll work. Hang on. I
If
got to
you're
do
clicking
that.
a link, wouldn't that be sexual harassment?
That's right. Yeah, it would be.
Well, I
That's-
mean, he has consent.
I do have consent. That's true.
Yeah,
Hang
proof,
on. Oh,
yeah.
this is it. Yes, this is it. Right. Let me just load this up, as they say. So this is Courtney in full
Yeah.
flow. I need volume. Hang on, I lost the volume.
You go, Courtney. You go.
Is this the one where she pees on the monitors?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh no, that was the Divinals. That was with the Divinals. She did that.
I don't know what I've done with the volume though. Oh, here it is.
There we go.
We'll start again. I do love a rock and roll chick.
I like the footwork.
Oh, the dance. Wait for the dance.
I love the footwork.
It's coming up. Sweet moves.
Yeah. Look at that. Look.
Is it on top, John?
So that is our beloved Courtney.
Yeah, beautiful. Loved it.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Wonderful lass. I do need a producer,
Knock on
D-Bud.
girl.
D-Bud Martin is correct. I do need a producer, and that role is open, D-Bud, if you're willing to.
Oh, there you go.
I got to produce, talk, present. I'm just like I'm like one of these monkeys with the cymbals, you know. It's except I don't have as good a battery.
I think you do an excellent job considering.
Considering my obvious handicaps, yes.
No, you're too hard on yourself.
But anyway, that's our wonderful friend Courtney. I do look at that. I do love that clip. I want to see more. I want to see more of Courtney. I mean, she sent me some pictures before of her, or I've seen some pictures of her when she was in bands. I think she was a blonde then.
Oh.
I don't know. But 2 more years till Bud Martin retires, so then he can become our producer. And it's a highly unpaid role. I should point out the benefits are minimal,
right?
But you do get to hang out with us. So documentaries appear to be all the rage. I was just talking about this yesterday, and there's going to be a Fleetwood Mac documentary produced by Frank Marshall on Apple TV Plus, because they who do some of this. They do quite a few good things now. I mean, they did the Get Back Beatles thing. Was that on Apple or was that a Disney? But
yeah, it was Disney. Yeah.
I just wonder if there's enough cocaine in the world to make such a documentary.
I wonder. Yeah. They were legendary. Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm also wondering though is just how much will it be? It looks like it's going to be focused on the Buckingham Nicks Fleetwood Mac, not necessarily the original.
The original, but I've still got their first single.
Yeah. What
when
was
they
the
were
first
a blues
one?
band.
It wasn't Black Magic Woman, was it?
No. Before that, it was a Elmore James thing, you know. Slide.
Dust My Broom.
One of those, yeah.
Yeah, that was a different band. I saw them at Torquay Town Hall. Yeah. Peter Green.
I love the old Fleetwood Mac. Yeah.
Jeremy Spencer.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy was from Hartlepool.
Did you know that, Mark?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's still around. He's still going. He's
still around, yeah. Because what
commune, is he? Something? He ran off to a commune, I think I heard.
He went to the Children of God, wasn't it, or something?
When he was on tour in California.
Just walked out the door, never came back. But of course, Peter Green went Doolally, and of course he's gone now. I did see Peter Green with his Splinter Band live years later, but with Cozy Powell on the drums. But I didn't. And then Danny Kerwin died, I think, a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy Spencer was raising money. Well, fundraising. In a crowd fund to do a tour of the States. I don't know whether they actually did it, but he was getting the money. And it's not a bad idea to for a British band, to support the tour in the States, because no record company support or anything like that anymore. So you can get some crowdfunding. The fans will pay up.
He was a good guitar player, and he did a mean Elvis impression as a singer, Jeremy Spencer.
Is that right?
Yeah, he used to do that. Was his specialty, and one of their B-sides is a great track. It's my favorite Fleetwood Mac track called "Someone's Going to Get Their Head Kicked In Tonight."
Yeah,
He does it as Elvis. He sings it as Elvis.
I remember that now.
Brilliant. Yeah.
But all these documentaries are because everybody's getting to that age, and people are popping their clogs and getting them documented while they can. Retrospectives and it's endless.
Well,
it's good documentation, and it's good for the history books.
And you got the Beatles 64 one. This is a Martin Scorsese coming out. Although this material's been covered a number of times, but I guess they've done some technical jiggery-pokery with the music and whatever.
Hard Day's Night.
Yeah, it's about the first US visit, of course.
Oh, that was Courtney. I thought they said she was blonde, right? Wasn't that Courtney?
That was Courtney. So this stuff is interesting because Disney Plus did the Get Back stuff.
See the railway car in the background? That's in the States.
It was on the way to, I think it was in Washington, D.C., when they took the train from New York to Washington.
Yeah, Streamliner.
See, being a huge Beatles fan, I'll watch this and I'm keen for it, but I'm just wondering, like, it's kind of been done before by them. Apple's constantly recycling this stuff now. And,
well, they have a new record out, don't they?
Yeah, now and then. Which Paul's performing live as well.
But I mean, that kind of thing translates, though, because if you think about YouTube, they always say you can redo your content, so you can keep putting the same stuff out every few years, and you're going to pick up a new fan base.
Absolutely.
Because especially now, there's so much stuff streaming that if you don't put something new out, people probably won't see it.
But they did I mean, I've got the DVD over there of the Beatles' first US visit, which Apple released a few years ago. So this is kind of the same stuff.
64, yeah.
Now, I was only 1 year old at the time, but you guys might remember what I've always been interested in. They were huge in Britain, and then they finally made it with I Want to Hold Your Hand and went to America. What did people in Britain think of them going over to America and becoming huge? Were they like, oh shit, we've lost them now? Like
some people would have been, yeah. But I mean,
I don't think so.
No, I don't think it's people didn't think of it back then like that.
Yeah, they still celebrated their success.
Yeah, they were going to the States now. That's great,
Because I know that the girls in the cavern, there's clips of them crying because the Beatles were becoming huge in Britain, and so they were going to lose their lads. They wouldn't have that connection anymore, and it's true. That's what happened. They went to London or whatever. But I mean, you must
wanted them. Everybody wanted a piece of the Beatles. Everybody wanted it.
You must have been seeing all that on the TV at the time.
But with the Beatles, they were so like it changed everything, even more than the Stones. You just went along with whatever the Beatles did. It just seemed like they were teaching us. Like there's more to it than just the English scene. And so you just say, they're in America. Oh, and they came back. So they never really gave up their Britishness, even though Lennon lived in New York.
Yeah, well, that was a different era then, of course.
I think we were really proud of them as well, being such a success in the States as well.
Yeah.
It was always back in the 50s. It was all American acts coming over to the UK and stuff. So for us to actually start exporting our stuff was like a big thing, and it went on from there. It boomed from there.
It was a generational thing. Like every young person was just following it all. There might have been a few exceptions, but most people it was just like they were changing the society at the same time. You just went along with it. That's how I felt.
I'll actually be, when I travel to Scotland next Saturday, I'll actually be spending a couple of days up in Elgin in Murrayshire, where there's a plaque, because the Beatles played a gig there on January the 1st, 1962 or 3.
Wow.
1963.
Right.
Sorry, January 1st, 1963. They played a gig in Elgin in Murrayshire. The New Year's Day.
Ooh.
They were in the far north of Scotland. And when you read, you guys had some tough tours. When you read about their early trips before they were famous around Britain, like the one they played there. That was the second time they'd played in Elgin, because they did a tour with a guy called Johnny Gentle in 1962, and it was the most miserable experience you'll ever read about when you read it. Like, all in one van, driving these shitty single track roads in the middle of winter. 1 amp between them, no hotels. It was just
they paid their dues. Yeah.
Did you guys ever see them live, or was that like even before they were big? Or
I never saw them.
Never saw them.
But I didn't. I was into train spotting. I was following them, but I didn't see anybody live. Mal used to go to gigs. I know. I took pictures of them on television. I've got those negatives still.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I might make them into an art project. Like I took just pictures of the screen.
But you may
Ringo.
have pictures there of performances that have since been junked.
You never know. So I might make it into a kind of an art thing and frame them. And
You
Apple
should.
probably sue me, wouldn't they?
No, you
Well,
may have something there that no one else
Yeah.
has got.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's as near as I got to seeing them.
The
It's in-
closest was 3 days at Hammersmith Odeon in 1973 with Wings
Mm.
when little Jimmy McCulloch was playing guitar.
Right.
He was great. Good lad.
Great lad. God bless him.
Yeah. So, Granny, you may well have been into Trains instead of the Beatles, but did Trains ever have a number one hit?
Well, the Beatles, I didn't dislike. I love the Beatles.
Just
The
kidding.
Trains, I know. I was just trying to come back with a quip. Couldn't think of anything.
A quip, yes.
Try to come back with a wee quip.
You're gonna shove it right back at me. You stick it up me.
Because the best film ever made by the Beatles was the one where they take the train ride down to
Hard Day's
Minehead.
Night.
It was
Of
a mine,
course.
yeah. I should have known better, that song. I love it. Not just because
Yeah.
it's got a train in it, but it was
And
filmed on real railway carriages.
And of course, Patty Boyd was in that scene.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
married George?
Yeah.
Yes, history. That was history. But yeah, once again, they're kind of the Beatles since anthology have kind of recycled a lot of stuff here and there.
Mm.
But each time they say, well, we've got better audio because we're now using all this computerized jiggery pokery to strip it all out and rebuild it with whatever. So
Mm.
that's their excuse, I guess. But also all these filmmakers. Ron Howard did Beatles 64 first
Yeah,
Beatles
that was
years. Now Martin Scorsese wants his kick at the can because they all grew up with the Beatles, so they
Yeah.
all want their kick at that. And hey, I
Yeah.
did a Beatles documentary, So
That's a big
Courtney's mentioning Scottish band, famed Scottish band, also from Dunfermline, as well as Average Rock Band, the Rosillos, who did
Rosillos.
they covered Someone's Going to Get Their Head Kicked In Tonight. So
Ah.
another Dunfermline band, the
They
Rosillos.
should have made that the anthem at the rink in Hartlepool. Because the rink ballroom was terrible for fights. I never went there. I was too scared to go.
Well, the man at the back said everyone attack, and it
Yeah.
turned into a ballroom blitz.
Oh, that's absolutely.
Yeah, it's good
One-
stuff.
getting close at 2 o'clock because Mal is not here.
Yeah, I gotta wrap it up. Yeah,
Make a
Yeah.
note, no attendance, and make a note on his
So-
sheet.
Wilco.
Now
He
working
doesn't
with
get his
Neil
pay.
in Kent, and he's got his own little show going on.
Is it the hairy-handed gent from Kent? Is that him?
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah, Wilco's mic's breaking up, but Mal did a little DJ appearance on Deal Radio, and he's doing it once every couple of weeks, playing tracks from his life and his tours, and yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
good.
Deal
Deal
Radio.
Radio. I'm not sure, Wednesday nights, I think.
Yeah. Well, that'll be on their website, I'm sure. So,
Yeah.
Wilco and guys, we are going to have to wrap it up. Anything? So, we're going to come back December. What else
Right.
you guys want to say before we go?
Just
Is it December 23 we're doing? Is it 20?
I think
December
we're going to
20?
do as close to Christmas as we can get. Yeah.
Okay, well,
One
we'll
of
put, it up, we'll put it up on.
yeah.
Uh,
We just want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. That's next week, isn't it? Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving for you guys.
23rd. Hang on. Oh shit! My calendar's gone doolally. Doolally.
It is the 23rd, yeah.
23rd. Oh no, it's a Monday. I thought we were doing
What?
so. Anyway, we'll publicize it, but we're going to do as close to Christmas as we can.
Yeah.
Everyone has to wear Christmas sweaters.
I'm going to be
And-
drinking glühwein.
I've got mine.
Yeah. And we'll play. Well, we'll talk about
Well,
some of our famous Christmas, some of our favorite Christmas stuff.
Well,
Very little of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
Van de Graaff generators. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
things
both
like
of us
that.
remember White Christmas just differently.
Yeah. So bring your
Friday.
favorite tracks. Bring your favorites.
Oh yeah, I have to put my thinking cap on.
Cool. But yeah, thank you everyone for being in the chat and watching us today live, and anyone on the replay, of course, hit that thumbs up button, all that good stuff. Share the stream out so people can watch the replay. Thank you to Courtney, Deba, Davina, Low Spec. Who else was with us today? We had
Victor from Southern Keto was here.
Southern Keto, Action Figure.
The stalwarts, I call them. The stalwarts.
Action Figure was here. I'm sorry if I miss anybody, but it doesn't mean I think any the less of you. You're all Marvelous, simply marvelous, people.
Marvelous.
Marvelous. We will be back in December. Till then, stay well. And most importantly, keep on rocking.
Yeah, keep on rolling.
Gear up, gear up, gear up,
But I'm
That's for
going to
Dustin. That's for Dustin. Am I
Yeah.
doing it right?
gear up.